shipping containers as a base and cover them with flip-flops.
And that's why with the bigger sculptures, you'll notice that they have a contour look, while with the smaller ones, there's a stripy look.
Nearly every part of the process is done by hand, and it can take up to 3 months to complete some of the larger pieces.
The only time we use a machinery is when we come here to sand. So after they're done carving with a knife, they'll come here and sit down and use these sanding machines to smoothen the sculptures. I'm gonna walk out of here because it's too noisy.
The company keeps a stock of marine animals, like turtles and whales, in keeping with the clean ocean theme. There's also safari-inspired carvings, like elephants and giraffes, which are the best sellers.
People say that they love them because of their twisted necks, and they also have beautiful eyelashes.
The sandal shavings get repurposed.
We have a shredder in the back that shreds them into smaller pieces like this. And from here, we're able to make mattresses that we donate to a refugee program in northern Kenya.
Next comes a quality control check.
The lady will make sure that, the elephant has 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 tail. If anything is not right, it's returned back to the artist where they will fix it.
Then the statues are washed one more time before being shipped to their destinations. The plastic and rubber often used in flip-flops poses a unique danger to marine life.
They actually target plastic, thinking that is food. The smaller fish, having ingested plastic, tends to be buoyant in that they are not able to dive down into the ocean because of that light material in their stomach.
Julie Church, the conservationist who founded Ocean Soul, got inspired after a visit to the Kenyan coastline in 1997.
She noticed that a lot of kids were making toys out of discarded flip-flops, and from there she got an idea that she could actually replicate the same model.
Now the team collects and carves more than 700,000 flip-flops a year, and the Pope himself was presented with an elephant carving when he visited Kenya in 2015.
So this is the gift that I hope will accompany you on your very important journey through life.
Joe and his artists aren't the only ones who've noticed the world's massive flip-flop problem. Firms big and small have introduced flip-flops made from ocean plastic, and even flip-flops made from algae that are 100% biodegradable. The company sells about a third of the pieces to shops, museums, aquariums, and zoos around the world. They're also sold online, in a store in Northeast Florida, and in gift shops around Nairobi.
We saw that there was a niche and there was business to be made, and that's how we started it.
We had a rhino the same size as this lion, and it was going for 43,200.
I'm looking for antelopes and maybe zebras to take to my friends.
Did you know it's from garbage?
No, I had no idea about that, but they are so beautiful.
But the combination of COVID and the war in Ukraine has brought on new challenges.
Our hardest duty right now is actually getting our stuff from Kenya to abroad. The supply chain has been really messed up.
The company told us their shipping costs have nearly tripled, and things take about 4 times as long to get where they're going. Occasionally, Ocean Soul.
Okay, an amazing morning to you all joining across the various states in Nigeria. And I want to say Happy New Month to each and everyone. Congratulations. It's so good to see you in a new month, the month of September. Yeah, interesting video indeed. We get to complete the video maybe after the class. Good morning, dear advocates. I hope you are doing well this morning and the week has been productive. On behalf of the leadership of SDSN, I also want to say congratulations to each and everyone once again. It's been a series of fruitful learning and impactful training all through this period of the SDG Advocate Program Cohort 4. And this morning, I'm also going to be coordinating to this session. My name is T. Emmanuel Olaolowoyo. And we have our speaker, our trainer today in our midst. Thank you very much, Mr. Afikayo, for joining as early as possible. We sincerely appreciate your presence and thank you for always honoring our invitation. We appreciate the entire PMI Nigeria for all you do. And this morning, we are going to the session today. We are having just one series today, and the last masterclass is going to be tomorrow morning by 10 a.m. For those of us, I can see a lot of people are here to join the call. Tell your colleagues across your states, they should join the session as we are starting right away. And this morning, today's focus is going to be on project management and innovation. And we have an industry expert in person of Mr. Fikayo Iwali. And he is a professional project management and with experience in agricultural production, agricultural research for development, software development, and communication. Presently, he focuses on helping scientists, researchers, and innovators communicate and connect their work, outputs, impacts to society through diverse media. And he is the creative director of Alpha Innovation Studio and a scientific communications officer at the African Center for Excellence. And this morning, we are blessed to have Mr. Fikayo Iwali in our midst, who is going to be leading the session on project management. Good morning, Mr. Fikayo. Oh, amazing, Mr. Fikayo. So I'm sending a greetings from Professor Labo Popola, and he's saying, he's sending his greetings to you this morning, as I know that you also know Professor as a mentor, and he's also a father to all of us. And he's also sending his greetings to each and everyone on this call. And Prof was the one that opened the SDG Advocate program some weeks back. And so good to have you this morning and each and everyone on this call. Okay, over to you, Mr. Fikayo.
All right, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here to join you this morning, and I have humbled. I'm excited that Professor Popola is my supervisor, undergoing PhD Sustainable Development Practice at Washington State University, and he's my supervisor. So I'm very honored that Prof is here, and I am thankful to everyone. Thank you, SDSN, for the opportunity to share with us. I'm excited to be here to join the course. Let me share my screen a few seconds just to about this.
Okay, you can share your screen now.
I hope we can see my screen.
Yes, we can. We can.
And you can hear me clearly too.
Yes, perfectly.
All right. So we'll go straight to our discussion. Our topic is project management and innovation. And I want to start by asking a question. Would you rather, if you want to make a new clothes, you just got a material, you have a new material that you want to sew. Are you just going to pick that material and just wear it like it is? I mean, you know how our clothes are. Or are you going to decide on, okay, what's the design, what's the kind of what do they call it? What do tailors call it now? What design the sewing be? Who is the tailor? How is it going to look like? What will be the outcome of this this particular, what do I want to translate this cloth into? This cloth now, CLOTH. What do I want to translate this cloth into? Are you just going to pick that cloth and wear it like that? Or you're going to meet a tailor to say, look, I want you to translate this to this. What would you do? Just one or two answers. Somebody else? Okay, I think
Okay,
Martin's is raised.
Right.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
I'm very happy to be part of this program, and then I must appreciate how you have started. I love the course project management and innovation, and then I'm very sure it will give us something great. And before you put on the clothes, first you either buy the material from a tailor or buy it elsewhere. Take it to the tailor. The tailor will take your measurement to know the particular size you are going to wear. After then, he will now apply his tailoring skill on the material, so it's to be the design you already shown him. Then after that, you come and inspect. If the design he has shown is not what you want, you will still tell the tailor to do an adjustment, or if possible, resew the clothes for you. You cannot just pick a clothes and put on.
Yeah, thank you very much, Martins. Martins has helped us a lot on this. So the first thing, you are going to get the material. You are going to ask a tailor to take your measurements. Now, the process through which that tailor, or that through which you're transforming this dye of cloth to a cloth that you can wear, we can actually look at that as a project. We are coming to that. But the point I'm trying to drive at is this: you don't get to point B without starting from point A and looking ahead to say, from this point A that I am going to point B. So that is the foundation. And let me just say this as I go on. The things I'm going to say, I'm not saying this as someone representing PMI, but I mean, it's a lot of views of PMI. Yeah, my individual views and opinions, but I think they are going to help us. So this is an outline of what I'm going to talk about. We talk about definitions of terms. Why do we initiate projects? We talk about that, and we talk about the project management processes. We talk about the project manager, yourself, myself, as project managers, people that are handling a kind of project or the other. Even though we don't have the title project manager, but what are you doing? And I'll give a little brief about the Project Management Institute. So let's start with innovation, definition of terms. Innovation, what is innovation? Innovation talks about something new. Excuse me. Innovation is about a new method, a new idea, a new product. It can be something like an improvement over something that is already in existence. I know that to a good extent, people in this place are familiar with innovation, so I'm not going to dwell so much on it, but I want us to notice that innovation, when we talk about innovation, we're talking about something new. It may not be entirely new, but oftentimes it is maybe an addition of something to something, or a redeployment or retooling using something that is existing in somewhere else or for a particular purpose for another purpose. Sometimes it's an improvement of something that is already existing. And it's not everything that is new that we can consider as innovation. Let me ask a question. Let's say now I came out to say, hey, everybody, come and see the come and see the innovation that I've just created, so that I've just developed. I have developed this cutlass. The cutlass is beautiful. The handle is so beautiful. It's nice. When you look at it, you just like to hold it. Would you consider it as an innovation? Yeah, you can just unmute and talk, please. I can see that two hands are raised, but I can't really identify them because I'm sharing my screen. You can speak if you want to answer, please.
Okay, can we have David? David, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Fikayo.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having us. However, your audio is bad actually because we can't hear you clearly. I don't know if you are far from the microphone or
Okay.
something, but please check audio setup. It's really bad. You are not audible enough.
Can you hear me clearly now, please?
Yeah, I think it's better now. It's better now.
I guess my earpiece was not behaving well. No. Okay. Thank you very much for calling my attention to that.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Is somebody going to talk about my cutlass innovation?
Okay, can we have Yaya Yusuf? Yaya Yusuf, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Fikayo. It's nice having you here. I'm speaking right from Florida State. Yes, your innovation might sound so good, but might seem useless if there are no new improvements in the cutlass. For example, you said the grip may be very useful. You said?
The handle of the cutlass is fine.
Yes, that's where I'm coming from. You said the handle is okay, but what of what I want to use to work? I'm not using the handle is also part of what I want to use to work. But if the blade or maybe the metal object that I want to be using to cutting is not okay, maybe the coffin, or maybe let's say it's blunt, then automatically I can't count that as an innovation. It is just a new idea, but not yet an innovation. So far, it is not even like maybe completing with the already existed format or protocol as well. So that's just my own simple.
Thank you very much. That's very valid. That's the point I was trying to make. The fact that you just have an idea of you think you brought up something that looks nice doesn't mean that it's an innovation. It has to be something that is useful. So when we are talking about innovation and for us to really achieve the SDGs, we need a lot of innovations. So it's not just about, yeah, I was just thinking and something came to my head and that is the innovation. No, it has to be something that is useful. It has to be an improvement over what is existing that maybe saves costs, is more efficient, produces more results and the likes. All right. Now, what's a project? A project is a temporary endeavor that is aimed at achieving specific objectives. And by saying temporarily, it means that it is time-bound. Every project has a start time and a end time. And they have specific objectives. We want to start this project because we want to take 50 children out of the streets. We want to increase the number of children that pass their SSC, the percentage from 35% to 50% over the next 2 years. So if we are creating a project, if we have a project, we are looking at the project it's a temporary endeavor and then our specific objective. We have particular things we want to achieve through the project. And apart from that, you have resources that are going to commit to the project. So a project is a temporary endeavor. You are doing it now, you know that this is time bound. So it's not like something that you know that it just continues forever and ever. Let's say I have a school now. The school operations of teachers, of having things go on from day to day, the day-to-day activities of the school, maybe for looking at the teachers, their books, their lesson notes and the likes. Those things are things that you do regularly, consistently during the school year. So that is not a project. That, for example, is what is called operations. Operations are different from projects and organizations. Operations are the day-to-day activities. They are not temporary in nature like projects. They are things that you do continuously. And they are the things that make the organization run. but projects are not endless. They don't have, like, there are things that don't have the end date. There are things that projects have end dates. So usually projects have these constraints: time, scope, and costs. The intercombination, the relationship between and among these three is what determines the quality of the project. I'm still going to talk about more about it in the next slide. Now, what is project management? Project management is the process of initiating, planning, executing, controlling, and closing activities of a team towards achieving specific goals. Now, that's long, but I'll just explain that briefly. We said projects are temporary endeavors. So they have specific goals. Now, project management is the process of managing those temporary endeavors. Now, how do you manage those temporary endeavors? First thing is to initiate them. So the initiation will talk about what do we want to achieve? Why do we want to achieve it? Is it even worth it in the first instance? Do we have to spend 5 million naira because we want to save 2 million naira? Does it make sense? Or should we spend 5 million naira and save 15 million naira? So initiation is the time when we are going to be asking ourselves those questions to say, is this project worth it? Should we start it in the first instance? When we decide that, yes, this project is something we should run at, then we are going to plan. What will we achieve? How will we achieve it? What are the risks? What are the opportunities? It's looking at all landscape holistically. So planning, we are saying that let us check everything step by step. How are we going to achieve it? And then we are now going, it's also, project management also involves the execution. So we don't just plan and say, oh, we've planned, we have very good plans in our books, then go and sleep. No. Project management still involves the execution of those plans. And that execution, we are executing them, that is the place where the real work is done. The work that we do to deliver the outputs. It is when we are executing that we're going to do the work. And then, as we are executing, we are checking the execution, comparing that with the plan. Are we making progress? Are we making the same progress we plan to make? Or do we have challenges? So controlling the project is the place where we are going to be monitoring or looking at the progress, comparing with our plans to see and make sure that everything is working in tandem, working together, so that we can achieve our end goal. If we are not doing this, then we are at risk of we are at risk of having our projects fail. So project management involves controlling. That is, it's actually called monitoring and control. We are looking at what we are doing and looking at what we planned, looking at the environment. Are there things that are possible, that are happening around that can affect our projects positively or negatively? So we are looking at all of those things. And then the last part of last process in the project management, is closing. Closing will be, we have finished everything, we've done everything, we have what we want to do. Then we are saying, okay, we have proved that yes, this has been done, we've delivered this result, we've delivered these outcomes, and everything is in order. So the project management is how we coordinate the team, project team, towards doing all of these things within the constraints. And what are those constraints? I said them earlier. They are constraints of costs, time, and scope. These three are called triple constraints in project management balance. At least those three constraints that you are juggling them to have a quality that you have. If you have a project now, the plan is that this project would take me 5 months. And for the 5 months, we are going to spend 1 million naira. And we are going to have this particular objective. If I say, oh yeah, let's just run this, I'm doing this project and we're just going about it, we're going about it. And by the time we are in the 4th month, I spent 1 million naira. And from the look of things, I can't even finish that project in 5 months. That project I've failed on the quality because the triangle cannot be balanced again. It will be skewed somehow. So project management is how we try to make sure this triangle is balanced and that we can maintain the quality. Now, SDG. All of us know about SDGs. And in my course, I remember one of these courses, our classes. My prof was telling us that talking about development. That in the beginning, humanity things were not developed by people saying, okay, this is what we wanted. They were just hunters. They were just people going from place to place. They eat animals. They were wanderers, and whatever they see, they eat. Later on, they saw that these things that we ate, that we threw the seed on the floor, these things are growing. That was when agriculture started. They started planting. Then that was when people started becoming sedentary. Now, during this period, there was a measure of development, and the development it wasn't planned, but over thousands of years, humanity has evolved, our systems have evolved, and now we even have what we call development goals. We had the MDGs before, now we have the Sustainable Development Goals, which are global, which are goals towards that we're looking at as global race of human beings. That okay, if we are going to survive, if our world will continue, if we'll be able to bequeath something to the future generations, then these are things that we must do. We have agreed on this, and this is intentional development. It is saying we don't want this to just happen. You just sleep and wake up and say, yes, there is no poverty. If poverty will be erased, we have to take actions. And these are things that people that we have decided upon. I know many of us here we have different areas of focus in sustainable development goals. I won't go into that. And I don't think I should be I should start explaining what they are. I know we are very familiar with them. Okay. So we are talking about project management and innovations. And remember I said that innovation is something new. It's usually an improvement. And if you're going to have something new, usually you need to do that through projects. You may not call it projects. It may not be a big project that you have plenty of money that you're putting in down. Virtually all innovative processes. Most of the times when we say we want to, okay, let us have a new design for our organization's letterhead. You may not call it a project, or maybe we want to have a new logo. But that branding process, that process is a project, may not be a big scale thing. Now, what you're doing to your organization's image, it is innovation. What the process through which you're achieving that innovation, it's through a project. Let's say that what we are thinking of recycling a particular product, or a particular waste, or something that is causing a nuisance in the environment, maybe like the slippers, the rubbers that on the video we watched earlier. Before those people started that project, before it became something as big as that, their innovation was an outcome of a project, because they didn't just start with let's pack everything together. I'm sure they had to look at, can we convert this to this? And when they decided that, let's say, I think we should be able to do that, they must have tried it on a very small scale. That process of trying that thing out, they usually do that. I mean, it's a project that they initiated or executed to achieve that. So that process of saying, we want to achieve this, we are going to put these resources together, we are going to see how we can manage these resources, use them to produce these particular kinds of outputs from these rubber slippers or from these plastic wastes. That is a project. So as we are thinking about innovations in our SDG projects, in our organizations, in our communities, let us think about those innovations as projects, because projects are usually the vehicles through which we develop or deliver innovations. How we're getting. So innovations and projects are interdependent. They go hand in hand. So now this is the innovation funnel. I'm sure that many of us are familiar with this, but I'll just go into it a little bit. When you're thinking about innovation, when you're thinking about what you want to innovate, usually you start with the research. Okay, what is existing? What are the things that people know about? What are the things that we know? What are the resources? What are the things that people have tested? How do they work? How do they happen? So you harvest all of those things, and from those research, from what you get through your research, you are now trying to you're going to try to now streamline. What are the information here that are going to help us in developing what we have, what we want to develop? So at that point, they are now mixing things. They are taking theories and trying to implement them, testing hypotheses, trying to, maybe, for example, if what you have is a communication project, for example, you want to pass a particular kind of message. Maybe it's a message on biodiversity. You want to tell the community about the importance of protecting their very rich forests, stopping people from felling the trees around them. Now, one of the things the development process is something like you have different types of content, different types of message, different types of approach of passing the message across to them. And you are testing, you are going to be testing those content, those things you developed with the people. Which ones produce elicited higher levels of responses, or which ones did the people say made more sense to them? Which ones did they feel was offensive? We are developing at that point. Now, if, for example, a particular product that you have, let me go back to that, the slippers idea, or the plastic waste idea. When the time they were developed, when they got to see what are the things that after they had researched and they had seen what was available, what could be done, then I'm sure they started developing those things. Let's start it. Let's do those things on a small scale. After seeing how they performed, how those things did, it will be after then that they will now go on to commercialization. It's not everything that we develop that we commercialize, because at some point, after developing some things, you may look at it that, okay, if we develop it as we're developing this, what's the cost of development? Will it make sense if we want to commercialize it? Are we going to make more money, or is it going to have the kind of impact we want it to have? It may not be about money, but this innovation for them just is basically you conduct research, you develop the solution, then you commercialize it. And commercialization, in this case, for some of us, our commercialization is not about money. It will be about scaling our output, scaling our projects, scaling the reach of those things that we're doing. So that's innovation for now. But why do we initiate new projects? I know many times we have, all of us would have had innovation, different types of new projects at different points. Well, these are just like general, the reasons why people start new projects. One of them is meeting regulatory requirements. When you say meeting regulatory requirements, let's say, for example, now the government says from January 1, 2024, we will not allow plastic bottles in so place in our country or in particular states. Now, if you are going to sell plastic, we are going to tax you. Because the organization produces, or maybe you have some of your outputs, you use plastics for your outputs, or maybe to carry as a container for your products. To meet that requirement that says no more plastic, you can't just say, they said no more plastic, so let's just, what is there in the market, let's just get it. No, you won't just go and get what's in the market. You are going to initiate a project to say, what can we use? What is available? Then you are going to test that because you're for example, if it's something edible, that if your product is something edible, you are going to be asking yourself questions about what's the shelf life? If you put our product in this particular kind of container, how is it going to stay? For how long is it going to stay? So the process of you checking those things, because you want to do that, you can initiate a new project. Or let's say it's it's your stakeholders, your customers, they have particular needs or requests. They said, look, this particular product, we think that this functionality should be there. It's not meeting this particular desire of ours. Now, because these people are your stakeholders, and you want to meet their needs, you want to meet their requests, so you go in there to say, okay, let's start a new project. Let's see, how can we meet their requests? Because in that process, organizations initiate new projects. Also, it can be you are implementing or changing business or technological strategies. There was a time when everything was done through typewriters. There was a time when typewriters started giving way to computer desktops. And today, if somebody tells you that they want to give you a desktop, I'm sure many people will not like to have the desktop, especially those ones with those big. So if it's a 3-in-1 desktop, there is a touch screen that is like a workstation, I'm sure somebody will like it, but not those desktop of the 1990s or early 2000s. So because you want to implement, because technological change, because of technological changes, the organization is trying to implement some of those things to make sure to get your business moving. Now you may initiate projects to achieve these things. Also, if you want to create or improve or correct products, services, or processes that you already have, projects are initiated because of these kinds of things. We have, we maybe as an organization, you have a particular template for processing information, maybe data of your respondents, of your recipients, of beneficiaries of your organization. You have those things in place. But you realize that or somebody said that, I think we can be able to do this better. And you're like, okay, if you want that, try something. That's saying try this or try it on a small scale. It is a project. You may not call it, this is the project, and you call the person the project management, but that kind of thing that you're doing is a project, oftentimes. And then another thing, anytime you initiate new projects because you want to fulfill organization's vision, goals, or business outcomes. Maybe you have, I think this is very clear, so don't let me take too much of our time on that. Organizations initiate projects because they want to make sure that they achieve those things that they've proposed, those things that they have set aside or that they are set out to do. So they initiate projects so that they can achieve these things. So here I'll just go into the project management process in little details. It said the first thing is to initiate. So define a project or define a new phase of an existing project. Now, this is crucial because this place of saying a new phase of an existing project, you can have a project going on. And as you're going on in that project, you feel, what can we do? We need to achieve something particular. So let us just do this. Let me give an example. Excuse me, sorry. I was working with a research for development project some years ago. The project introduced small dual purpose chicken. That is chicken that can be raised for either egg or meat to smallholder farmers across Nigeria. Now, those birds can roam like our local birds. They can eat this just the way our local birds eat, and they grow bigger than our local birds. They lay more eggs than our local birds. Now, one of the things that we realized during the course of that project was that our farmers, they were like, wow, feeding those birds was crazy. It was so much. They needed to buy a lot of feed, and they usually give them also household wastes. So while we were going on, there was a conversation about, okay, so we have these people, they are rural people. They have a lot of household wastes and a lot of things, farm products. Processing waste, agro-processing waste and all of that around them. Can we just find a way to help them to harness these things, to make feeds? Our project was primarily to introduce those products to them, but because we saw a need for in the midst of among our farmers, we decided to find a way to develop an app. So we developed an app that we called Smallholder Poultry Feed Formulation Hub. So with that, we had many of these wastes, agriculture, household and agricultural wastes. So whatever you have, you can just specify, I have this quantity, and then I want to produce this quantity. We have that to calculate the quantities and all of that, and tell you the nutrients content. That's that particular thing. When the big project started, we had what we were looking for. But when we were going on, we realized that we needed to have a new phase of that project, which was developing an app solution. So that came up. That's initiated. Now, to talk about planning, as I discussed this earlier in a little detail, we're deciding how you will achieve the project. Planning means that you are saying that from the beginning, you are going through the process, you are trying to see what are the steps that you're going to follow to achieve your goal. And you are like going to the end from the beginning in your mind and on your paper. So that's planning. Now execute. That is where you do the work that leads to the delivery of the project output. Execution is many times it takes the bulk of the time, bulk of the resources, because that is when you are going to really move a lot of things during that phase of execution. But that is crucial if you are going to manage your innovation process. Control is when you monitor the project activities to align them with the plans. I talked about this earlier in detail, so I won't stay on it. Then the closure of the project, closing, that's where you deliver the project outputs. You say, we said we're going to do this, we have done them, we've concluded them, that's it. And then you archive lessons. Archiving of lessons is something that many times you don't do, but it's very crucial because for every project, you are actually doing something new. You have things that you learn, you see things that work, things that did not work, things that can help you for the future projects. But if you don't write them down and keep them in a place where it can be readily accessible, then those lessons will most likely be lost. And they will not be beneficial to you, they will not be beneficial to the organization. So it is crucial to archive the lessons learned. And it's also important, these lessons learned we should not wait till the end of the project before we start writing them down. As you're going through your innovation process, as you're managing a project, when you see something, oh, this is something that's worked, note it. This is something that did not work. We need to note this for next time. Put it down. And when you close your project, you don't sit down with it. You move on to the next thing. So that's that. I saw this quote sometime ago, and I thought it makes a lot of sense. Sarah Gallagher, she said, in a very real sense, every project undertaken is undertaken for the first time. Every project, even if you built a house before, let's say you're building 2 houses, the same design. You finished one already, now you want to build the second one. The reality is that second one, that second house, even though everything there is the same, it is a different project. You are undertaking it for the very first time because it's possible that, the weather condition during the first building will not be the same, even if they are just weeks apart. You don't know anything that can happen. You don't know policies of the government, things happening around you can just change. So every project is undertaken for the first time. So we need to have this consciousness in when we are undertaking projects, so that we don't just say, oh, we've done it before. Don't worry, just go about it. Is it not the same class? Is it not to organize a workshop? We've organized many. So let's just leave it. No, don't do that. Give every project the seriousness it takes, give it the attention it takes, because those things that you take for granted can mess you up. My supervisor during my MSc days, Professor Shunaya, he used to say something that I think he said, I think he called it Matthew's law, Matthew's theory or something. He said, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. That is, if in a project, now we are talking about project, if in a project or an innovative process, if there is something that has the potential to go wrong, if you don't take care of it, most likely that thing will go wrong. And you will now say, we did everything that we should do, but this thing still flopped. That very little thing that could have gone wrong, that you took for granted, messed up every other good thing that you've done. So don't take your projects for granted. Don't take that process for granted. So who's the project manager? As I said earlier, the project manager is the person that coordinates things. But then you may not have that title, that designation, project manager. You may not give you that. But what are the things that you do as a project manager? You deliver the project on time and in budget. The project manager's responsibility, his goal or our goal is to deliver whatever the project is on time and in budget, making sure that there is no loss in terms of time. Not that I say, we did everything, but the project was supposed to end 5 months ago. We're just ending it now. Or to say, yes, we delivered the project. But we ran at an over cost or not so much money that we needed to have to get enough for it. Then the project manager manage these resources efficiently. And when we talk about resources, we are not just talking about money, we are talking about people, we are talking about equipment, we are talking about everything that is used to make the project work. The project manager is the one that manages those resources, and he has to manage them efficiently, put the right, the round pegs, the round holes, square pegs, the square holes, make sure everything goes properly. Then project manager is the person that assembles and motivates the project team. The project manager may not be the one that is doing the heavy lifting. That may not be the one that is handling everything, but he's the one that is coordinating, making sure everybody is motivated, everybody is doing their work. He's the one that is looking for that many times assemble the team. Sometimes we don't have the opportunities to assemble the team because maybe because of the structure of the organization, but the project manager is the one that will motivate the team because the team members are working for him or working with him to deliver the project. So it is the responsibility of the project manager to motivate the team. The project manager also manages time and milestones. He's the one that looks, because you want to deliver on time, you want to deliver in budget. So you're looking at all of those things. At this point, we have gotten here. This is what we're supposed to do. This was our plan also, so it's fine. Or no, we are running short or we are running late. The cost is going up. So those are things that the project manager is the one that develops the budget, and you also have to be the one to track the budget. The project manager is the one that manages risk. And when we talk about risk, risk is not only negative. Risks include the opportunities and the threats to the project. What are the things that are happening within the project that can help the project? What are the things that are happening around the project that can help the project or that can hinder the project? Is there a weather forecast, or is there a policy shift of the government? Is there something that is happening in a particular place that can affect the project either positively or negatively? It is the responsibility of the project manager to look out for those things and to track them so that he or she can be able to know how to navigate those, what those things will throw at the project. Then project manager is also the one that monitors the progress of the project. You know, we have said that over and over again about controlling, making sure that the execution falls in line or aligns with the plan. The project manager is also the one that reports the project. It will report the project maybe to senior management, to stakeholders. Is the person that is like central to everybody. So he's the one that usually would write the reports that will communicate to everybody about the project. I would just want to go to just talk briefly about PMI. So because I know that our time is fast spent. Now, project management, PMI means Project Management Institute. That's the largest body of project managers, professional body of project managers in the world. And for me, it was joining PMI was a beautiful experience for me. I joined PMI in 2016, and I did my certification exam in 2018. But I'd known about PMI long before then, and I've been thinking about becoming a member. It's simple to be a member. You have just go to pmi.org, and then you can create an account. And there is also, we have PMI Global. PMI.org is the website for the PMI global body, but we have a PMI chapter, Nigeria chapter. which I am also a member of. For you to be a member of PMI Nigeria, you need to be a member of PMI Global. It's free. You can have free membership of this. If you join PMI as a free member, there is a limited access, but you can still start there because that was where some of us started also. But there, you have access, you have opportunity to join PMI Nigeria because we have some. We're trying to have a guest code that can give you full membership for PMI Nigeria for free. So it's what we enjoy. And I'll still share this slide so you can always see the details when you have it. PMI have a number of certifications. We have certifications we have certified associate project manager. That's for people that have very minimal experience. For beginners in project management, whether you have a degree or you don't have a degree, you can get the CAPM, the PMP, that's project management professional. That is it's like the gold standard of project management certifications in the world. That's for project management. For project management professionals. We also have the program management professional. That's certification. That's for program managers, and the program program managers are much more advanced than project managers because programs include multiple projects. You're working with them together, and so as to achieve synergy or better outputs instead of managing them separately individually, or coordinating them because they are linked. If they are linked and if they are associated with one another, there is no point managing them independently. So programs bring them together. There is certification, PMI RMP, that's for risk managers. There is PMI SP, that's for scheduling, preparing schedules. We also have Agile certifications for PMI, Agile Certified Professional for PMI. So we have a whole lot of certifications, and all of these are available. They are globally acknowledged, relevant certifications that you can get and you can use. Then we also have the PMI, the world is going agile. We're talking about a lot of agile things. Things are moving very fast. So some of the traditional project management approaches are not, we have improvements upon them. So we have agile certifications, several of them. Don't let me go into this so much now because we have that. Now we also have micro credentials. That's just you don't need, there are courses that you just take, you watch videos, you take courses, do some certificates. They are they are focused on particular components of industry, of projects, of programs, and the likes. So for these ones, the certification process are not as complicated or as intensive or extensive as the other certifications. We have these micro credentials. You will be interested. It will be very good for you too. And we have a lot of other things, other tools. We have projectmanagement.com, which is a website where you have access to a lot of resources, templates for managing your projects, articles, so many things. We have Career Navigator. It's a whole lot. You can check PMI.org and then we can have a conversation. We can also have conversations. You can have conversations with me if you want to ask clarifications, and you can also ask questions shortly after now. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been a pleasure discussing with you. I don't know if you have questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fikayo, for this enlightening session on project management. And dear advocates, I believe you've had good understanding in lines of project management. However, learning never stops. You need to keep learning. You learn, unlearn, and learn over and over again. And at this point, we would like to take questions. Yeah, thank you everyone as you are using the comment section to show your appreciation to our facilitator for today. Thank you. And those of us on YouTube, you can use the comment section to ask your question. We are going to pick it up from there. And for those who are on Zoom, you can just raise your hand if you want to ask a question. I would like to take, okay, I can see hands up already. But if you're asking a question, it should be based on this session. Please, if you're having issues, you can't sign in one thing or the other, please, let's still hold on those questions for now. The questions you have to ask is on this module that was just facilitated by Mr. Fikayo. All right, can we have, and I'm going to call those who are doing the right thing. I would like to call Khadijat. You can unmute your mic. Please give Khadijat access to speak. Khadijat, you can unmute your mic and ask your question.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you very much for the audience. Mr. Fikayo, thank you very much for such a beautiful and insightful class. It was really nice because I am currently into project management. I am just starting out. And so far, I've only taken like 5 courses in project management from Google. And so all you said now has actually like enlightened me more as regards to what project management entails. And the free membership, PMI Institute, whatever, I have signed up for it too. And I'm already a free member. And like you said, yes, there's access to a few things and the subscription. But I did not get the part of the Nigeria chapter. I get emails from PMI Global, but I don't know how we can register for the Nigeria. I think you explained it, but I would like if you can share your slide with us afterwards. And I don't know if we can message you on LinkedIn or send you a mail. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Before you respond, Mr. Fikayo, we just appreciate to take 2 questions at once because we have more hands up. Okay, can we have Joy from Kano State? You can unmute your mic and ask your question. Joy, in 30 seconds, please just unmute your mic and ask your question. And Mr. Fikayo's phone number and email address is also on the screen, so you can grab it and connect with him for that. All right, Joy, let's have your question in 30 seconds, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Fikayo. So 2 days ago, I actually finished my project management course on Coursera. So I've done the whole 6 course that we're meant to do on Coursera. And then I was now thinking, how do I go from here? And then this morning, we have you here. So how do I go from here? I have finished the courses. Is it PMI that I'm meant to go to, or do I need mentorship further, or how do I go, sir? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, everyone. I appreciate the comments and all. So PMI Global, I first joined PMI Global too. Not until last year when I joined PMI Nigeria. That was my mistake. Because when I joined PMI Global and I had my certification, it was just like I was just the only one by myself with PMI thing, project management thing. And there was there is a big project management PMI community in Nigeria. Presently, the PMI Nigeria team community is about close to 3,000 already. So I didn't know that, but it was until late last year when I connected and I really realized that I had missed a lot. So I'm going to share the slides and you can join the PMI Nigeria link. Yeah, if I know that there is I have a I have some details there. To select, you have on the PMI global team, you select that you want to join the local chapter. That's Nigeria chapter, and that you normally supposed to be $30 to join the local chapter, but there is a promo code. If this promo code doesn't work, you can always reach out to me. I would get across to the PMI Nigeria leadership, and then you can make sure you get what you need to connect with the PMI Nigeria community. So I think that's that. And for the other person that asked the question about she's done a course, very beautiful. It's good that you've had that course. With the course that you've done now, you have a lot of insight to what project management is about. So one of the things that you need is to really have people that you associate, that you connect with, people that know about project management, people that are interested in project management, just like you, so that you can rub minds together, you can learn from them, you can really gain a lot from that community. So I will encourage you to join PMI, and particularly to join PMI Nigeria, because then you can have a lot of people that, you can rub minds together, you can learn from people. And from my experience with PMI Nigeria, people are excited to share with others. They are excited to mentor people, mentor others in project management. So you would find a good family in PMI Nigeria. So it doesn't stop you from other things that you might have planned for your project management learning, but I'm sure this is going to be a huge plus for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that response. Thank you for that response. We'd like to take more questions. I'm also trying to sieve out from those who are on YouTube. So those of us that are on Zoom, I want to see, okay, I can still see more hands up. Just in a minute, let me see those who have their hand up. Okay, can we have your question, Gabriel? Gabriel, you can unmute your mic and ask your question in 30 seconds. And why Sani also prepared. Then we also have a question from Martins. We have these three people, then we are done for the questions.
Good morning, Mr. Fikayo. Thank you for the lecture. My question is based on a particular project you made mention of, I think, in agriculture, poultry feed, something like that, saying that to get poultry feed, you have to use the agricultural waste and home waste, household waste, to make the poultry feed. So I want to actually get the actual household waste and the agricultural waste you use to make the poultry feed, because I'm about to also go into that project.
Okay. Did I answer now?
Did you get me, sir?
Yeah, we can hear you. Mr. Kaya, I believe you got a question, right?
Yes, I did.
All right. Can we have Martin? Martin, please unmute your mic and ask your question.
Hello, sir.
Yes, we can hear you.
Sir, thank you very much for the section. We really enjoyed it, and then we must say it's very impacting. My question is, when we are treating project management processes, you made mention of initiate an idea, you plan it, you execute, you control, and then close it. So my question is, after the closure of the project, are you still coming back to evaluate whether the project has yielded a successful result, or you just allow it to be, you just close it and then go away? Because I was thinking maybe after the closure of the project, there should be a kind of review or reevaluation of that project to know whether it meets its targets or not. But I just want to know the idea after that closure, because I would not like to know what happened after the closure of the project. Thank you.
Okay, can I answer this first?
Okay, Mr. Fikayo, please, before you answer that question, because I know you definitely have some other things to attend to, I would like to read one or two questions from our participants on YouTube, and it's going to be very brief. I think we just have very few questions on YouTube. There was someone asking that what are the limitations of PMI free membership, and could you please share with us your personal experience, knowledge, and challenges you faced as a project manager in Nigeria?
Can you come
Okay.
again, please?
Hello?
Can you come again, the question?
Okay. The question this person asked is, could you please share with us your personal experience, knowledge, and challenges you faced as a project manager in Nigeria? Yeah, so, and he also asked, what are the limitations to PMI free membership? I don't know if there is any at all, but the first question is quite pertinent, and we appreciate you attend to that alongside the other ones.
Okay. All right. Let me start with the question about my challenges as a PMI, as a project manager in Nigeria. I'm a project management professional. I have the certification, and but interestingly, I've never worked with the title project manager. Now, my former work, I was a technical officer. That was my designation, and I was doing technical stuff. But along the line, I managed the software development projects that we had. But that did not mean have that title project manager. I didn't have that title, that project manager title on the project. And presently, my current work is I work as a scientific communications officer. That is, I break down technical scientific content into everyday language using different media. Looking at this, personally, if I'm going to say I have my challenge I would say it's more of the fact that project management generally in Nigeria is not really, people have not seen the value of project management as much. That is not yet really obvious, because looking at it, I had my first degree in animal science. I had my master's in animal science. Generally, when you see project manager or project management, the people, maybe even in if you see job adverts and the likes, when you see the places where you find project manager or project management PMP certification being required, they are in the construction industry, be as an engineer, an architect, or the likes. You find a few project manager, a few people are talking about project management skills in tech industry, maybe app development and the likes. So those are the major places. I don't have background in engineering, I don't have background in tech. So in terms of looking for, we say, and I really didn't want to get into those things. I wanted to stay somewhere within the scientific environment and contribute my skills and knowledge and my knowledge there. So as a person, that's the fact that in the areas where I want to work or where I work, there is really no big preference, nothing that says, this person has this skill, we recognize him for this. It's really not much, but that's me. If you are interested in some other spaces with project management skills, project management certification, then you are game. I mean, you have a lot of access, you have a lot of money that you can get in those places. But despite that, I want us to note this. As much as I don't have the designation project manager and such, and I don't have that title or that job description, the fact that I have project management knowledge, project management skills, that part helps me a lot in my work. So I'm much more efficient in what I do than people that don't have the knowledge or experience that I have. So to a very large extent, despite the fact that the industry or the industry where I work or where I've been working so far, agriculture, and now I work in the health sector or laboratory, genomics and health sector. Despite the fact that my project management skills are not really designation are not like loud as the things that gave me space there. Those skills are certainly apart in what I do. So that's what I would say about that. Now, if the limitations of free membership of PMI, well, so some of the, for example, on projectmanagement.com, we have thousands of, I said that we have thousands of templates. There are some templates that are accessible to anybody. There are some that are free. I mean, that are premium, that are for members, full members alone. And then there are articles that are accessible to everybody. There are others that are not, that are for paid members. There are events. As a member of PMI, you have access to some of PMI's events, free of charge. So if you are not, if you are not a member, if you are using free membership, then there is just a limit. There is a limit to some of those things that you have, but at least you have enough to give you a taste of what it is. But joining PMI Nigeria, you would see a lot more, because at least for your first year, PMI Nigeria you are going to have free access to everything that PMI Nigeria members have access to. So that can help you to really evaluate if you want to get into PMI, I mean, be a full member of PMI and then pay for the membership. So the question about after closing the project, what next? Remember when I was talking about projects, the project management process, I said that while you're doing it, while you're executing, you are checking, you are comparing the plan with the execution. There is a particular stage there is a particular process called controlling. That controlling, you are using that to check, you are comparing what you plan versus what you're doing versus the outcome. So in project management, you're not waiting till the end before you evaluate. Your evaluation starts from planning sometimes, because when the things you have decided upon, you're also checking, you're comparing, are we sticking to this? Are we following this? So evaluation in project management is not, we don't wait till the end. The reason why you close that project is because you have attested that it met the requirements. It ticks all the boxes that it's supposed to tick. Everything that we said we were going to do, we're able to do. Some things that if we are not doing some of those things, we actually decided that we are not going to do them along the line. So you don't close a project that you did not come to you don't close a project that you have not certified as valid or as having met the requirements that you planned. Now to the question about the agricultural waste, agricultural products that we use. We how do I put it now? Yeah, okay. We included quite a number of ingredients. I forgot quite a number of them because this is about 4 or 5 years ago. But I know that we have all of these groundnut cake, the palm kernel, we have beans chaff. Like I think we have this maize chaff also in. So we had quite a lot of things, a number of those ingredients. Those ingredients that we could find from scientific publications that they have analyzed their nutrient content, because we didn't just put just any particular thing. We needed to use things that their nutrient content, nutrient profile have been defined or have been analyzed already by people. And those are the things we use. You can reach out to me so we can probably talk further about this. So if you need to know more, you can take that further, please. Someone was asking about my LinkedIn earlier. I will post it in the WhatsApp group now. In the chat group. I already posted it earlier, but I'll post it again now. So I think I've answered the questions, all the questions. Okay. Mr. Manuel? Mr. Manuel?
Yeah. Yes, you have, sir. I've answered all the questions.
Okay.
It's possible Mr. Emmanuel is busy at the moment. So I don't know if anybody has any other questions to ask, any comments, anything at all you want to share. You can just raise your hand. Thank you so much for the enlightening session. We've had a great time interacting with you, and we are so grateful to have you join us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
It's a delight. Thank you too. Thank everyone for joining. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you, Mr. Fikayo. Thank you for the session. We sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so much. And on behalf of the leadership of SDSN, just like my colleague Joseph has earlier said, we say thank you for this wonderful session, and we look forward to having you over and over again. Dear advocates, I believe it's been a value for your time. And right about now, shortly, I'm going to be sharing some updates with each and every one of you. Please let me just give me like 2 minutes while I do that. But the attendance and evaluation form has been shared. Please ensure you fill it now. I'm going to share my screen for the updates. Okay, yeah, apologies. I just asked to attend to the country director, and it's very important. It's part of what we are doing back to back. So this morning, I would quickly like to share a brief and also a review of what the timeline of activity is. This is going to be shared on the WhatsApp platforms. I mean, it's going to be shared across our WhatsApp group. So you might just need to if you want to do a screenshot, however, but it's still on review. And the most important part is the training, which we are currently having. I hope I'm audible. Please, I will need someone to confirm that if I'm very audible. Yeah, I need confirmation. Joseph, I hope I'm audible and my screen is well previewed over there.
Yeah, audible, sir, and the screen is well previewed.
So quickly, before we end today's session, the very first part is the training session, which is going to, we are going to conclude tomorrow. And the next training session is on design thinking and innovation as well. And after the training session, we are going to be having assessment, final assessment, that is 5th of September. And 5th of September, that should be next week. I believe we are aware about that and we should all prepare towards that. Then currently we started, the last week, we started the submission of proposal for virtual advocacy and community projects. There are 2 deadlines on that. The very first deadline is the proposal for SDG virtual advocacy, which is 3rd of September, this coming Sunday. All states are to ensure that you submit your proposal before before midnight on Sunday. I'm not sure the program communication officer will share info about the time, but I know that the dates which I have on the calendar is 3rd of September, and the deadline for community-based proposal is 9th of September. Please, it's very important to keep to these dates. And I really appreciate the project team as they are working back to back to ensure that we have a smooth program. Then also all the state leads, you are also doing, I mean, state representatives, you are doing excellently well. Then once you've submitted your proposal, this is going to be reviewed by the project steering committee, and they are going to give you a response if at all your proposal was approved or disapproved. And they are going to give you basis why your proposal are being disapproved. That's if at all you have any disapproval, but rarely do we have disapproval. And another key aspect is the booking of webinar, and each state reps know by now that they are going to book their webinar date and time, and that is going to be between 5th and 9th of September. But we are moving to the phase 2 and phase 3 of this program, which is another critical aspect which we all have to participate. I want to say this, I want to emphasize this, that it's important you participate in all levels of all phases of this program. So don't just come for masterclass alone and write the 2 assessments and you didn't carry out your own school projects, but you participated in community-based projects and virtual advocacy. Please don't, there are people like that are from quad 2, 3, and some of them are back in quad 4. They have to come and complete their own school projects, or they have to come and complete their community-based projects. So it's very important for you to complete each and every project, the one that you are doing as a group, the one that you also have to do individually. So I'll move on to the next one. The virtual advocacy is starting 7th of September and just a month, 7th of September to 7th of October, that's 2023. And the school project is starting 11th of September to 13th of October. We are aware that some states are going to be resuming 18th of September. And the modality for one school project is they are going to, once they review your submissions, they are going to send an introduction letter to you. Please ensure you print your introduction letter before you go to any school. So if you are going to introduce yourself to any school principal and you are saying you are coming to train the students on SDGs, you have to present your letter alongside. They can even read your letter while you're on seats and they can tell you to come back. But however, it's very important you print your letter. So And the modality is you have to submit the letter, the review, and please put your phone number on that letter. So they have to call you back, and definitely they want to share updates regarding the time and the dates they give you. Ensure you keep that, you take to that date. And I've seen situations whereby we are the one calling the advocate, reminding the advocate that the dates that your school approved for you, you are not in the school, this and that. So please, we want such thing to happen. Then the training you are doing in the school is an introduction of SDGs. And I think this time around, we are going to share a document that details what exactly you are to share with the students. So you are not teaching them project management, you are not teaching them circular economy, you're only introducing the SDGs and all other knowledge area, which you also know, and you can then get to engage and on a particular activity. So I know that we have some of us that are innovators that do things in line to recycling. So if you want to engage them on that, yeah, it's free. You can engage them on that. And community-based project is going to start 2nd of October to 31st of October. And you can see the submission deadline for each of these activities. SDG virtual advocacy is 20th of October. On the school is 22nd of October, and the community-based project is 5th of November. Then grading and compilation of results and virtual graduation and certification 17th of November. These are key informations that I need to share. And those of us that I can see 171 people on this call now. Maybe you are joining from YouTube. I will say that, okay, there is no issue. But if you are just joining the masterclass this morning, you are wrong. It's very, very wrong. It's very, very wrong. We know how much the organization is spending just for you to have smooth sessions. And many of you still miss classes, and you go on Zoom, WhatsApp, and you say that you are not informed. Many people do not even read, many of you do not read emails. So when we send emails to 1,000 people, we know how many of you open email. Hardly do we see 30% of you that open your email. So these are cultural, these are things you need to build, and it's behavioral changes. We need to change in these regards. So if we are trying to ensure that everyone can attend, so this morning, I don't want to say this, but I'm trying to avoid not saying it because I can still see that we have a low attendance, and I've said it, we are very keen on attendance. So don't just think that you have a good assessments and they are not going to grade you based on attendance. You are going to be graded based on attendance, and we are very keen about it. You have one more class, and if you don't attend the classes and you have a low score in terms of attendance, it's also going to affect your gradings. All right. So regarding the SDG Advocate Academy course, it's very paramount, and the course do not end. It's forever. Yeah. So, but they always have a tenure for their course. So it's always in form of 3 months, 6 months. So you can get to start courses that are going to start in September. But if there is a course that has ended as at August, or that is ending this week, you don't need to start such course. So look for the next opening date for that course, and you can start. That's how SDG academic course applies. So, yeah, you can apply, they give you scholarship and you get a certificate, but you are not meant to pay any of them. There are a lot of people that have done courses on SDG Academy and they got their certificate. You just have to go through the right process. So I think those are the basic information which to share this morning. I would like to take maybe just 1 or 2 questions. If there is any, then for all other sessions. Tomorrow's session is going to start by 10 a.m. Please kindly note that we are going to be also on Zoom. So please endeavor to join the session as early as possible. And it's also going to be for 1 hour, 30 minutes. So let's ensure we prepare for that. I don't know if there is any question. If there is any questions, I would like to, you can just raise your hand while I provide further information on that. And please ensure you fill the attendance link. The attendance and evaluation link has been shared. I know that some of us are just joining the session because I can see 170 over or thereabouts. Okay, I can see 2 hands. Okay, Scholastica, you can unmute your mic and ask your question, please. Please make it very brief, just in 30 seconds. I would like to take all the questions at once.
Okay, good morning, sir. Good morning, all.
Good morning this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for organizing this. Thank you very much. You say something about sending messages to the email, and you notice that so many people don't actually open their emails. But I noticed that for some times I've actually not been getting emails. So is it that they have not been
So we
emails?
change the mode of communication to WhatsApp so that you can read it on WhatsApp. Even still on WhatsApp, we send messages. People don't read the message in detail. So that's just all right. So we stop, but there are some cogent information and important aspects which we still have to do as an organization. So we keep to our standards. But now, based on the group you are working with, we see that you prefer WhatsApp communications most. That's why you see us rolling on WhatsApp. All right, can we have Rebecca from Lagos? I think these hands are becoming more now, and just we can go off anytime. Rebecca, are you there? Okay, Bashir from Kogi, you can unmute your mic and ask your question. Bashir, please unmute your mic and ask a question.
Good morning. Thank you for the wonderful lecture. So my question is this: the own community project, is it individual or with members of the state? And the community project. So that's my question mainly. And this virtual advocacy.
Let me respond to
is it also
okay? I understand what you're asking. Thank you for that question. The community project and virtual advocacy is meant to be state projects. We are doing it as a group, so not individual. The only individual project is On a School. So On a School is just a group project. But for the sake, I know that a lot of people are not on this call. So we've locked the group now. We've locked the general community. So if you have a question, and we are going to open the community now, drop just your question there, because we are going to respond to each and every questions. And you can also post your question to your state rep. Your state rep is going to share it with us, and we are going to respond to it. We don't want anybody to miss and another person coming back to ask this question. So we are going to open the group again now, and each and every one of you can ask your question. I won't like to take too long on this call. Thank you, everyone. It's been a wonderful week, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., same platform and same link. Thank you, and have a wonderful weekend.